Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Sam, and today I wanted to give you a quick showcase of the Hollow Storm update for Gears 5. So they've added a few new characters and a few new maps, which I thought I'd go into, as well as a campaign update that changes a lot of the options for that. So first off, I'll go into the store. You can see they've added a Locust Flame Grenadier that's new this week, but the main characters are the Operation 5 ones. They've got Scourge, who looks really cool. Dizzy, who was one of my favourite characters to play in some of the previous games. Anya, and Ty. Although Ty does also have a Hollow Storm skin further through here somewhere. I can find it. There, Hollow Storm Ty, which is his skin from Gears 2, I believe. You can get a few free things for Thanksgiving because that's currently going on at the moment. Kind of standard stuff. And another mark that you can get for free. I like that they have these previews that show you what it will look like and stuff. So that's the main Operation 5 editions on there. If we jump into multiplayer, and I'll just host a private match quickly. Swap that to King of the Hill because that's my favourite game mode. So, All Fathers was already a map that was in the game. All of those were. Checkout was added last season, which is a remaster of one of the Gears 3 maps, I believe. Clock Tower is a new one, which is from Gears 3. Gridlock's a new one, which, if you're familiar with like Gears 2 and 3, it was in those as well. Nexus is I don't know whether that's a remaster, but it is a Gears 2 themed map. It's based on the operation where the Gears invaded the Hive and just sent down all the grind lifts and stuff. Regency is a brand new map, which is completely new, not a remaster. I think it's the only or one of the only new ones they've put in, sorry. And River is another remaster that's... I quite like the look of it because it's got like loads of wreckage and dead locust and cog gears and stuff everywhere. That's the main part of that. I'll put in some footage of some of the maps potentially. I'll go through and record it after this. Alright, so the other main thing is New Game Plus, which is an interesting thing. So if I go onto here, I'm going to change my weapon skins to something a bit more outlandish. We'll go with the radar skins. Put that on everything. So if we go on to New Game Plus settings, you can turn Iron Man on or off, which means if you die during the campaign, you have to restart the whole thing. You can swap Marcus for Dave Bautista, which is interesting. Weapons using multiplayer skin, so that means anyone who's playing as a character will have their custom multiplayer weapon skins shown on their character. Active squad members use multiplayer skins, so if I turn that on, as you can see it's changed all the characters to my skins that I use, which is the Hivebuster skins. The only thing that I don't like about that is that it only toggles it for these three characters that are actually here. So if you're playing like the Vazgar missions where you've got a squad of like 5 people, it only affects the ones that are actively player slots, which is a bit meh. But I wish there was more in-depth options for like replacing other characters, potentially like all the ones that are in your squad, and maybe cog gears as well would be interesting to replace if you could swap them for like Onyx guards or whatever. So there's bobblehead mode, which makes them either have big heads or bobbleheads. Active reload, you can do it so you only reload when you active reload successfully, or it refills your clip and basically gives you free ammo. Execution rules Same as multiplayer, if they go down you have to execute them rather than just shooting them. Play as a drone I'm going to leave off, but it basically swaps the character models for locust or swarm drones even. Headshot explosion. They've got confetti, which I guess is supposed to be like Halo's Grunt birthday, but it doesn't look as impressive or as funny. I'm going to go with grenade, which basically means you shoot an enemy in the head, they blow up like a grenade and damage nearby people. This one I'm going to leave off as well, personal preference. You can set it so you regenerate health only when you're in cover, only when you're shooting enemies, so like a vampire sort of effect, only when you're not in combat, or a mixture of both. Melee resistant juvies is kind of self-explanatory, means you'd have to use shotguns and stuff I guess. Modifiers I've not tried, but it means you can have freezing damage, poison damage, regenerating health, having vampire effects. We'll go with shock, see what it does. Low gravity death just means enemies float away when they die. Total ammo you can do halved or double. I tend to go double. Aggressive enemies I think just alters the AI like the final few enemies in Horde, where they'll just rush you and try and kill you. Friendly fire is self-explanatory. Shielded enemies have an invulnerable front shield, so that encourages you to flank them. That'd be a pain in the ass. Voiced gun sounds is funny, but the novelty wears off and it gets kind of annoying, but we'll put it on for now anyway. Jack cooldowns, you can set it to be fast or halved, so it's a lot quicker. And screen effects is basically just a filter for it. You can make it look a bit more like Gears 1, Gears 2, Gears 3. Pink, like a movie. Have the nightmare effects when Kate starts having those nightmares, etc, etc. There's a few different ones to go through. I think we'll go with Gears 2. You can carry over your jack progression from the main game. I'm going to leave it not visible, they're just standard things. Look at the bobbleheads on them. That is funny. We'll go with a later mission, perhaps this is war. Or we'll go with Homefront. Spoilers if you haven't seen the later parts of the story, but yeah. Let's jump into this and you can see what it's like. I think there is one extra character they've added, which is Gabe Diaz. If you play through the tutorial of Gears Tactics, you get him as a free character. I've not played Tactics, so haven't got him. But there's also a Lambent Ram skin, if you're interested in that.
Delta, gather around.
Tell me we got a plan.
We do. This is a targeting beacon.
Yeah, no shit. We're the ones who brought him back from Vastar.
Give me a break, Lieutenant. I just work here.
They look so derpy.
The point is, we gotta plant these things all over the old city. Just handed Cole and Foz theirs.
So, where do we plant our beacon?
East Barricade Academy. Once it's in place, you'll have a live hammer radius, and you can start hitting back. We clear?
Clear.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's real ugly out there.
Kind of reminds me of like pop vinyls.
Then we watch each other's backs. Like always.
I think they also did a graphical enhancement, which I don't know whether you can tell or not.
Plant this beacon down the street.
Bez, Sheriff's goes rolling out with our beacon. See you on the other side, Delta.
Good luck!
Those ones don't have bobbleheads.
Mary, where am I going?
Disappointing.
Panic, get your beacon to the Tomb of the Unknown. Violet, take us to wherever that is.
We got carriers!
Yeah, so that's the gun noises.
You got it, Carmine.
Gotcha! God damn it, they're right on us!
Lost Carmine!
Beacon deployed!
Fuck, I'm down.
How long till I can fire this thing?
Give it a few seconds to calibrate.
Yeah, as you can tell, the gun noises get really annoying.
Okay, now! Fire! Fire!
Carriers are done!
Still got a few stragglers to put down. Time for some target practice.
This is so weird. And as you can see, all the bodies floating away because of the low gravity death thing.
That's all of them.
Well, the new hammer works.
Yeah, but only around that beach.
Yeah, that about summarises the
All right.
bobblehead setup
Go, Delta.
and everything else.
We'll guard this one.
So yeah, we'll come off this, go back to main menu, and then we'll do a quick tour of a couple of the multiplayer maps. I mean, if you've played the previous Gears games, which I'm assuming a lot of people have, then you'll kind of know what Gridlock and River are like. We'll jump into Regency and see what that's like. My only wish for this game is I wish they'd make the Horde a bit more diverse, because they've got all the models for like the Locust and whatnot, so I don't see why they don't. I don't see why they don't put Locust as another enemy type in Horde, or even do Lambent as well. It just make it a bit more interesting if all the enemies were more diverse. Especially now they've added the Scorcher as well, which was a new addition this season. The flamethrower thing. They could easily add the like incendiary units that the Locust used to have, and the big shield bearer ones. I think Butchers as well, were they ones with big meat cleavers, I think? I don't think they've been around since Gears 3. But yeah, we won't start the Horde. I also noticed how they renamed the combat class to Red Shirt for the AI. Little Star Trek reference there. So yeah, this is Regency. You got a memorial spawn over there. To be fair, I've not tried this map yet. It's like a big cog, fancy villa looking place. Looks very, very fancy. You got the helipad over the far side, which I think is the other spawn point. And just a load of statues and stuff everywhere. If you've played All Father's Arena, it's a similar sort of art style. Very over the top fancy. Yeah. Interesting place. To go this way, down to the fabricator. There's a lot of cover you can use in this area. It kind of reminds me of the hotel map in Gears 3 and 4. All the like close quarters cover with different height levels and whatnot. You got a nice view as well, all above the clouds. How lovely is that? But yeah, that about sums up Regency. We'll have a quick look around Nexus because I'm not sure if that's a remastered map or a new map, but that's quite an interesting one. It's got a few switches you can interact with, which are nice to close the different sight lines and stuff. Takes forever to load though. Don't know why it needs results for that. Let's go on Nexus. Just as a little channel update as well while it's loading. I started using a face cam last night on my partner's phone, which I thought went pretty well. But we're getting a proper face cam turning up later today, so I'll be able to start doing like face cams on my Twitch. as well as my partner hoping to get some new games so that we can play more together. So yeah, if anyone who's played Gears 2 remembers the Hollow Storm mission, this should look a bit familiar. You got like dead corpses, big nexus over there. Looks quite interesting. Well, you can tell it's kind of like 2D art style, but anyway, as I was saying, there's the switches here as well. Flick that. Shuts the gates, stops enemies getting through that way. You got the fabricator. You got a bit of cover over there inside this little hut bit that leads up around there. Quite a bit of cover here with the big emulsion drips. You can see from the map at the bottom that it's quite a large map. I think this area would be quite good for Horde because it's easily defendable. There's only one entrance down that way. Potentially this. I don't know whether that opens or not, but beats me. But yeah, you got the torture chambers, like the one that Ty was held in the second game. Other spawns down this side. There's another switch here. Proper one of those towers, not just a 2D version. And that's basically the map. You've got a few little areas here, there and everywhere. This area is quite good for shotguns. Then you've got a massive dead corpser, which I think looks really great. See, they've got all of these creatures and stuff as assets in the game, and that's evident from all of this, so I don't see why they don't add them in as actual hostiles and stuff. I mean, look, you got... Oh, I can't remember their names. Beats me. The little locust versions of Juvies. They got grind lifts as well from where they've dropped in to assault the hive. I love the detail in a lot of this, like all the dead gears and whatnot, just make it feel a lot more atmospheric. Anyway, that's that map done. I think I'll leave the video there. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.